Okay, dito sa second method na gagawin natin, kailangan gumamit tayo ng 4 or 5 concepts ng analytic geometry para ma-solve natin to using this method. Kasi yung first method na ginawa natin ay ang ginamit lang nating solution o concepts ay yung standard equation of a circle with center at HK. Pagkatapos, gumamit lang tayo ng elimination method para ma-eliminate yung mga variables na di natin kailangan and then ma-solve natin yung mga variables na kailangan natin to determine or to find out the location of the center of the plate and the length of the radius. Okay, ano-ano ba yung mga concepts nating kailangan gamitin dito? Ito, maigsi lang ang solution pero napakaraming methods or concepts sa analytic geometry para ma-solve natin. Una, um, number one, yung midpoint formula na na-present ko na sa inyo to dun sa uh, first lesson natin o second lesson natin in finding the general and standard equation of a circle. Wherein yung problem involving using the midpoint is about the length of the diameter. Okay? Kinuha natin yung midpoint to locate the center of the circle. So ito yung midpoint formula. Ano yung midpoint formula? Halimbawa, meron tayo ditong um, 2 points connecting the line segment. We have point P2, x sub 2, comma, y sub 2. Yung kanyang point 2 and then point 1 has an ordered pair of x sub 1, comma, y sub 1. If we want to locate the middle point of this segment, let's say that is point M, x, comma, y is our ordered pair of the midpoint. To solve for the length, the distance of the abscissa of the midpoint, we have x equals sum of the abscissas divided by 2. And for y, we have y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. Okay. Halimbawa, meron tayong segment. Let's say this is point P2, 5, 4. Then this is point P1, 1, 2. Kuko natin yung midpoint. This is 1, 2. This is 3, 4, 5, 4. Yan. Kukunin natin yung midpoint. This is point M. So, para makuha natin yung location ng midpoint, we apply the formula. We have M, x, y, x equals x sub 2 or x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2 for the abscissa of the midpoint. For the ordinate, we have y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. And then we substitute given values of points P1 and P2. We have x sub 1 is 1, x sub 2 is 5, okay, divided by 2. Therefore, the abscissa of the midpoint is 3. That is 1 plus 5 over 2 is 3. And then for the ordinate of the midpoint, that is 4. Y sub 1 is 2. 2 plus 4 is y sub 2 divided by 2. Answer is 6 divided by 2 is 3. So, ang midpoint natin is located at 3, 3. So, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sakto. Doon. So, that is about midpoint. Okay, yung ikalawang concept na kailangan natin para ma-solve yung problem na to using this method or method number 2 ay yung slope. Ang notation ginagamit sa slope is small letter m. At ang definition of slope is the ratio of the rise over run of a line. So that is rise over run. So halimbawa, we have 2 points. Let's say this is P2, x sub 2, y sub 2. This is P1, x sub 1, y sub 1. Okay? So ito yung ating segment, P1, P2. Para makuha yung slope, kailangan alam natin yung rise. Okay? So ano kaya ang coordinates ng point na to? Ibig sabihin, iisang horizontal distance of this point Q, let's say this is point Q, with respect to point 2. So ibig sabihin, this is also x sub 2. And this point Q has the same vertical distance from the x-axis with respect to point P1. Patsrehas yung height nila. So, ibig sabihin, ang kanyang ordinate is y sub 1. So, ang rise, ito yung vertical distance, ito yung rise, ito yung horizontal distance between P1, Q, ito yung ating run. Okay. Ibig sabihin, ang slope natin dito is P2Q all over QP1. Yan. Okay. Yun ang rise. So, ano yun? With respect to the ordered pairs, ang slope natin can be computed using the difference of the ordinates all over the difference of the abscissas. So, yan ang formula ng slope natin. Okay? Halimbawa, let's say this is point P2, 5, 4. And this is point P1, 1, 2. Anong kanyang slope? Gamitin natin yung formula. Ang slope natin will be y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Diretso ko na. Y sub 2 is 4. Ang y sub 1 natin ay 1. Then, ang kanyang run, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, x sub 2 is 4 minus 1. Teka ha. 4 minus 2, 4 minus 2. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1. X sub 2 is 5 minus x sub 1, 1. So, ang slope natin ay, this will be 2 over 4, or this is 1 half. Ibig sabihin, for every rise of 1, kada taas ng 1, may run siya equivalent sa 2. Okay. Yan po ang ating slope. Okay, and the third concept na kailangan natin para ma-solve ang problem na to using method number 2 ay yung perpendicular lines. Ano daw yon? Sabi dito, two lines are perpendicular. Let's say L1 is the first line, L2 is the second line. Para ma-prove that L1 and L2 are perpendicular, they are only perpendicular if and only if the product of their slopes equals to negative 1. Or M1 equals negative 1 over M2, or M2 equals negative 1 over M1. Wherein M1 is slope ni line 1, si M2 is slope ni line 2. Okay? So, ganito yon. Yung kaninang example natin, yung ating seg line dito, this is P2, 5, 4, and then point P1, this is 1, 2. Okay. Okay, 2. Okay, tama. Ang slope nito, let's say this is line 1. Ang slope nito ay M1. Na-solve natin kanina. 4 minus 2. That is 4 minus 2 all over 5 minus 1 equals 2 over 4, 1 half. Now, if there is another line here which is perpendicular to L1, yan, halimbawa, tawag natin dito perpendicular bisector. Ano? Yan. Let's say this is second line. Let's say this is L2. So, the angle of intersection of this L2 to L1 is 90 degrees. So, ibig sabihin, perpendicular siya sa L1. Para makuha ang kanyang slope, okay? Para makuha ang kanyang slope, gagamitin lang natin yung concept no number 3 that the product of the slopes of two perpendicular lines is equal to -1 or a negative reciprocal. Yung slope niya is a negative reciprocal of the other slope ng ating line. So therefore, ang M2 natin, ito yung slope ni line 2. M2 equals -1 over M. Okay. So sa makatuwid, ang M2 natin will be equal to -1 over 1 half. Then reciprocal natin, our answer is -2. So that will be the slope of line 2, which is perpendicular to line 1. Okay? So, hindi ko na i-discuss yung parallel lines kasi hindi natin magagamit dito. But if there are problems na kakailanganin natin yung concept about parallel lines, saka ko na lang i-discuss. But for the meantime, we need only the topic about perpendicular lines.